We only have this one world. We're in the process of destroying it. It affects all of us. 7 billion people need to act jointly and consistently to secure a worthy life for the 9 billion people who'll inhabit our Earth in 2050. But people are negotiating rather than taking action. Meetings are arranged and then deferred. Self-interests override the interests of the community and those of future generations. The point at which such decisive action will no longer have any impact is getting ever closer. There is still time, but there's no more time to waste. The reasons are obvious. Industrialization is progressing at a rapid pace in the industrialized countries, but above all in the BRICS states. Our cities are growing. More and more people are being enticed to the big cities so that they can have their share of the wealth on offer. Urbanization is demanding more and more energy. To meet the demand for energy, we're consuming more and more precious resources. By using them, we're drastically increasing the CO2 load in the atmosphere. We're intensively exploiting nature. We're forgetting to operate sustainably here. More and more natural reserves which could compensate for the CO2 pollution, such as the rainforest regions, are having to make way for civilization. Cars, aircraft, ships. The price we pay for our individual mobility is the release of enormous quantities of CO2. The consequences are difficult to ignore. The polar ice caps are melting, the sea level is rising and posing a threat to inhabited areas. More and more extreme weather phenomena are associated with climate change. Flooding and deluges are robbing us of valuable land for cultivation. Enormous economic damage and high costs will have to be borne in future. The result is socially depressed areas, which in turn can trigger mass migrations. We would need 5 globes to be able to continue living as we are, but we don't have that luxury. This is why Progroup is taking action and is already doing so today. Progroup is taking responsibility with groundbreaking technologies and radically new ideas. Our papers and corrugated boards are already meeting the demand for greater resource productivity today. Learn about our green high-tech concept in more detail. Our Earth's climate system is very complex and is shaped by many different variables. The influence of human beings is encroaching on this system in a sensitive way. It's causing a man-made greenhouse effect. CO2 pollution is a substantial factor behind climate change. The main culprits are the industrialized countries. The fraction contributed by the emerging nations is increasing at a rapid pace. Our industry and our company must also tackle this issue in a sustainable way. The Roadmap 2050 demands lower CO2 emissions. CO2 reduction is also the major issue for Progroup. The power of innovation. Progroup is developing the new environmentally friendly generation of corrugated board. Our approach is to create recycled material loops which make use of our valuable commodity of waste paper in a way that saves resources. In parts of the world experiencing strong economic growth, there's great demand for waste paper, the raw material for meeting the growing requirements for packaging in emerging markets. The level of demand and prices charged for waste paper are on the rise. The eco-conscious consumer collects waste paper and seeks out environmentally friendly packaging. It's all about the carbon footprint. Our society, our politicians, our economy and the media are addressing the issues of carbon footprint, recycling loops, life cycle assessments and roadmap specifications to make consumers aware of the issues. Our challenge was and still is to produce corrugated board in a way that conserves resources. high levels of investment have been ploughed into the most innovative development and production of corrugated board base papers. The PM2 plant in Eisenhüttenstadt is a visible symbol of how Progroup leads the way when it comes to technology. Next Fibre, the Pro Papier brand for the lightweight, environmentally friendly corrugated board base papers. Next Fibre is the basis for the new generation of corrugated board. It scores the best marks and gets the best results in the paper laboratory. The carbon footprint also points the way ahead for the entire industry. The new lightweight corrugated board base papers weighing 60, 70, 80 and 90 grams, thinner and stronger. Manufacturing, storage and logistics ensure a CO2 reduction of 52%. Compared to conventional corrugated board-based papers, the life cycle assessment of the production facility in Eisenhüttenstadt has improved once again in an exemplary way. The benefits in terms of emissions of the new corrugated board generation thus result from a large number of optimized factors. FSC certified. Next Board is the brand name for the new corrugated board generation. This ProWell brand symbolises the new lightweight corrugated board with reduced CO2. There's 15% less CO2 pollution. Corrugated board is now green. Next Board, lighter, slimmer, more intelligent. ProWell sets new standards with lightweight corrugated boards and a considerably better level of performance. This is down to the development of an optimized corrugated board design. Think about corrugated board in a completely new way. 15% less CO2 pollution and another 5% saved during transport. The loadable surface area is increased by 16%. 1 in 7 journeys by truck is no longer necessary. At 7 sites across Europe, production at ProWell has been switched over to the new corrugated board generation, and all the feedback has been positive. This not only benefits our environment, but also really does save money in the supply chain at ProWell, at the processor, at the brand name goods manufacturer, in the central warehouse, in waste disposal, in the self-service store, and for consumers. The Rhineland Technical Inspection Agency praises the result. It certifies Next Board with an excellent carbon footprint rating. Progroup now leads the way in the industry. Progroup says yes to green corrugated board. The third step, green packaging made using Next Board, is called Nextbox. Nextbox is the brand name for innovative and technically highly sophisticated packaging concepts. All of the good figures for the roadmap agreements for 2050 are met. The future for our alliance partners for packaging development is secured. With 15% less CO2 pollution, attractive developments are possible with a perfect finish: slim, light, stable, secure. There's been a transformation. Perfect, reliable production processes, higher running rates, improved packaging characteristics with better technical values.
New design possibilities for secure transport packaging, machine-compatible central warehouse logistics, and packaging that promotes sales in retail stores. Outstanding printing results without any ripple effect. A smooth look thanks to the new corrugated board design, which delivers a first-class brand identity. What's also important is the promotionally effective inscription of Nextbox, the logo for packaging concepts with reduced CO2. More corrugated boards on the pallet, lower costs in the warehouse. High-quality products in high-quality, environmentally friendly corrugated board packaging. More security during transport to the markets. Attractive promotion of sales with corrugated board featuring reduced CO2 appeals to consumers. Easy handling, greater carrying comfort and security. Set an example. Utilize our innovative green high-tech products. Corrugated board in the recycling loop, conserving resources thanks to new fibre treatment. FSC certified. Technical Inspection Agency certified. Products carbon footprint on your packaging. Nextbox, green, high-tech on your packaging. Take responsibility for our planet and for the next generations by doing business in a sustainable way.